So Kiva is in 60 countries, and our 47th country was the United States. And a lot of people asked us, why, when there's so much wealth apparently in the United States, would Kiva launch here? Why would you allow the internet community to fund someone in Oakland, California? Isn't there a greater need in Accra, Ghana? And first, our belief is that wealth and poverty are everywhere. And when you know that 30 million businesses in the US are unbanked or underbanked, when we launched a couple of years ago, it was the middle of the credit crunch. If you had a 650 FICO score or below, literally you could not get loans from the major banks. And so we know that working capital is incredibly important for small businesses, and it's important for creating jobs here in the US. And can the internet community kind of help uncrunch America? So what we thought is, let's partner with a couple long-standing, well-reputed, great organizations, Axion USA, Opportunity Fund, Axion Texas, Louisiana, and Green America. Those four organizations we partnered with. And essentially, one, we're helping them unlock their capital constraints so that they can continue to serve down-market clients instead of kind of migrate upwards as the cost of serving down-market go up. But two, increase awareness and education. In talking to the microfinance practitioners in the US, one of the biggest learnings for me was that so many of their clients don't know, or prospective clients don't know, that they even exist. Kiva every day gets 50 to 75,000 people coming to its website. So perhaps more than just the capital, it's about the awareness and the education we can raise around microfinance being an option in our own backyard. The average loan on Kiva, kind of in 60 countries, is $400. The average loan from a US entrepreneur on Kiva, though, is $7,000. So the loan request is substantially higher. It's for obvious reasons. A dollar goes, I think, a lot further abroad than it goes here in the US. Things cost a bit more money to get started. The average microloan in the United States in the industry is about $10,000. The median is $9,000. So Kiva is a little bit below the median. And what's really amazing about these loans is that as people demonstrate repayments, that gets reported to the credit bureau so they can actually build their own credit and access capital from major banks. Some of the most significant challenges to the development of microfinance in the US are, one, awareness and education. People need to be aware that these options exist. Two, capacity for these local organizations to not just do credit, but also help mobilize assets, savings, and also do a lot of financial literacy courses, education. It's so much more than just a small loan. There's a whole set of services that need to accompany that to make sure that's being used responsibly and done responsibly. I think the third thing is that if you think about the small business and what their constraints are, oftentimes it's things like permitting and regulation. It's just driving sales. It's having basically access to the same set of kind of education and training that many college grads in the US get about managing their own financing and cash flow management. So it's a whole set of things, financial services as well as non-financial services, and creating an ecosystem of support, both kind of loan capital as well as subsidy, that helps enable that. One of the things I'm most excited about, if you think about microfinance, I think perhaps the most valuable thing that's been established in the last 30 plus years is the relationship between a loan officer and a client somewhere in a rural, unreached part of the world. It's really much more than the credit that's being provided. It's a distribution network to reach the last mile across the planet. And so if you think about the financial services and the non-financial services that can be offered through microfinance institution, what I'm talking about is, let's think beyond credit and beyond savings and beyond just insurance. Let's think about integrated development. What can be offered when you have a group of women sitting there receiving a loan in addition to the financial service? They can learn about financial literacy. There's a whole set of business training and education courses that can be done. There's a set of health promotion efforts. There's, we've seen one microfinance organization on the Kiva platform actually do pap smears and neonatal education and care. It's an incredible set of kind of development interventions that I think can be channeled through this kind of weekly or monthly relationship between a microfinance provider and their client, some which will need subsidy and some which will be done on a commercial basis. But the question now, I think, as we think about Microfinance 2.0, is what can we do to basically gain leverage on the platform that's been established. And this is what I get really excited about with Kiva and the internet community, is to create space for these microfinance organizations that we partner with to innovate at the bottom of the pyramid with new types of loan product types, things that they otherwise might not have the space because of the free capital and the risk tolerance of the internet community and the patience of the internet community. Things that they might not have otherwise had a chance to do with commercial funders, they can do with everyday people on the internet and a whole set of philanthropic actors to create that space to innovate.